Good morning, guys. Here we are in St Petersburg, the morning of the match, Russia, well, the afternoon I should say, Russia against Spain. And as you can see behind me, just look out there, that water leads out to the Bay of Finland, the Baltic Sea, and it's a very grey, miserable day. So, unsurprisingly, the Krestovsky Arena behind me, this way, just there, I don't know if you can just tell what the roof is going over, so the pitch for tonight's game, 9:45 local time, kickoff, unsurprisingly is going to be closed. I've never actually been inside a closed roof stadium for a match before, and for an evening game, an international, and what will certainly be a sellout. It should make it a very interesting atmosphere, but anyhow, here we are. So, yesterday what we gleaned from the pre-match press conferences, Igor Akinfeev trained individually back at the hotel. It was only birthday boy Andrei Lunyov and Vladimir Gabulov. Really quite one of the more pointless selections in the squad at the age of 33, 34, whatever he is. The plethora of young, talented Russian goalkeepers available. But anyhow, Akinfeev, I don't think it's any major injury problems, probably just precaution as much as anything else. Mario Fernandez, he played the first half against Argentina. I think he'll probably start again, but again is unlikely to play more than half the game. But other than that, Alan Zagoyev said he wasn't 100% fit in the pre-match press conference itself. Other than that, no major concerns anyway. That's the main point. What side we'll see probably will change a lot. These are friendlies. Cherchesov likes to change, and also there's the fact that Argentina played a 3-4-3, which is exactly what Cherchesov laid out, and worked, to be fair, reasonably well for 85 minutes of the game. Now we know he likes to play three at the back, Cherchesov does, so you'd imagine that's what he'll go with. But Spain, they play so narrow, such centrally based football, he'll load the midfield, Cherchesov, almost certainly. Now I may change what my predicted lineup was a couple of days ago when I wrote my preview on Football Grad, but I suspect what we'll probably see is still a three-man defence. I think Ilya Kutepov might be given some minutes because he didn't play against Argentina. I don't rate him personally, but he's in the squad and there's not much point calling him up if he's not going to get experience against the big sides. So I think perhaps, Fyodor Kudrashov, who didn't have a very good game against Argentina, I think he's likely to drop out. So Vasim, Georgi Dzikia and Ilya Kutepov, that's what I suspect the back three will be. Konstantin Rauch, one of the best players in the Russian team against Argentina, full of energy, got forward well, used the ball intelligently, almost won a penalty in the 4th minute. He'll start left wing back, I expect. And like I say, Mario Fernandez, he or Smolnikov, I'd go with Fernandez personally. Smolnikov he's not been the same player he was a year ago for some time now. A year ago I would have said he and Mario Fernandez, that's a tough choice. Now it's really no competition. So I expect Fernandez right wing back, Rauch left wing back. And originally I thought he would go with two up front, but I'm actually wondering whether he'll go with just Smolov up front and a midfield 3+1 attacking of Glushikov, Kujaev again. I think he should be almost first choice of what's available now, but I suspect he might drop out and he'll give Anton Shvets some game time. Shvets, of course, he played, it's well documented, 2-3 years ago he was playing 3rd tier of Spanish football. But he's done well for Akhmat Grozny this season, and I see no reason why not to give him some minutes. Doesn't mean he has to play the full 90, but to start the game, you'd have thought. So Glushkov, Anton Shvets, and it just depends really quite how concerned Cherchesov is with how Spain are going to attack them. Will Spain be motivated or not? Is Cherchesov worried about that? Will he try and take the game to them? He tends to be slightly more on the conservative side against the top teams, so I think he's going to stay relatively defensive, and possibly even give Alexander Yerokhin some game time. He's a tall, physical player, and despite a lot of the criticism he gets, he's actually technically a good striker of the ball. He just doesn't use the ball desperately well half the time. So I think he'll be used in a more defensive role. So possibly Glushkov, Schwartz and Yerokhin, with, I think, Alexei Miranchuk playing in front of them as a link between Smolov and the midfield. Now, it may seem harsh to drop Kokorin, but, you know, these are friendlies. They're friendlies for a reason. My general feeling is that if you get 45 minutes of good football out of a friendly, then it's served its purpose. You know, give a few people some runouts and whatnot. So that's how I see it going. Akinfeev in goal, I expect. Vasin, Jikia, Kutukov at the back. Then right to left, Fernandez, Schwartz, Yerokhin, Glushkov, Rausch, Miranchuk in front, and then up top, Smolov. That's how I expect it to be. Now, like I say, what are we now? 2 o'clock. The game's not for another 7.5 hours, so we may hear different injury news before the game itself. I'll just turn around, in fact, so you can see the actual magnificent Kostovsky behind me. I'm just going to suss out what it looks like where the media entrance is now. But that's my thoughts for the game. As for Spain, very briefly, Isco is out. It was thought he wouldn't be too badly damaged by his muscular injury against Costa Rica on Saturday, but he is definitely out. And I don't know exactly who will come in, but my tip would be Marco Asensio. I think he's just absolutely magnificent. And clubmate, of course, of Isco's at Real Madrid. So they played against Costa Rica, like I say, very narrow formation. They played 4 at the back, and then Sergio Busquets was playing as the deep holding midfielder, 2 in front of him, and then whether you would call it a 3 or a 2 then 1, David Silva and Isco started behind Alvaro Morata. Alvaro Morata is easily Spain's senior striker at the moment. They don't actually have a lot of goals in the squad, as in, I'm talking not potential goals, but goals already scored in their international career. Morata, I think, is on something like 15 goals and 30 odd caps, somewhere in that region anyway. So possibly Asensio behind him, alongside David Silva. But again, could we see a bit of rotation? Let's be fairly brutal. Russia are not the most feared opponents, so perhaps Julian Lopetegui will see this as an opportunity to really rotate the squad. Who knows? Point is, Spain are top-class opposition. Russia didn't embarrass themselves against Argentina in Moscow on Saturday, so I'm actually reasonably positive about this game, despite the weather. Despite the fact Russia are 65th in the FIFA rankings. I mean, that's a whole other kettle of fish, the FIFA rankings, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit warren today. Despite that, despite the weather, despite the fact that Russia did lose against Argentina, I think the signs are here for a very, very intriguing game, and of course a chance to see this incredible stadium at capacity. I've never been inside. This is going to be my first time inside the Kostovsky, but just from the outside alone, over £1 billion spent on this, and by all accounts it's worth every penny. So guys, that's my morning preview. I'll do more coverage in the run-up to the game, and then once we get inside, get team news, of course I'll be doing that too. I'll be doing a live Periscope for Russian football news before, at half-time and at full-time. And for Football Grad, I'll be doing Instagram and Twitter updates, and I'll post YouTube videos, before and after the game as well. So guys, follow me on Russian football news and on Football Grad, at Football Grad Live on Twitter. And I'll do a on the whistle match report for Football Grad as well on footballgrad.com. So I hope you enjoyed the coverage, guys, and I look forward to seeing you later. Bye bye.